With the 2011 Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference football season just weeks away, the 8 teams from the Eastern Division in the PSAC met here at Kutztown University for PSAC Eastern Division Media Day. Today, the Millersville Marauders, including head coach Greg Colby, who's entering his 4th season, along with 2 seniors, one from the defensive side and one from the offensive side, came to talk about and foreshadow their goals for the upcoming 2011 season.
When you look at last year, a lot of things going on. I think we were a better football team, and if you look at all the different factors and the close ball games that we had, we were a better football team than we have been the last 3 years. I think a lot of us had really high expectations, and when we lost that ball game against Cheney, I think it really deflated our guys psychologically and made it tough to come back after that and play with the kind of intensity and practice the way we needed to. So that I think made it a little bit tougher the rest of the season, but bottom line, we were better in 3 or 4 major categories statistically, both sides of the ball. We, had 5 ball games, won or lost in the last minute, one in the last 2 minutes, and we hadn't had that before. So, I think that even though we were closer last year than we have been, we're still in that precarious position that we've got to learn how to win those close ball games, win our share of them, and then get over that hump, and then we'll be fine. Yeah, but we're closer than we have been. We've got more juniors and seniors this year than we've had since I've been here. I think this is the first time that a majority of our 2 deep are upperclassmen, and we haven't had that. We've got 50 returning lettermen, we got 70 returning players. So just from an experience standpoint, you're going to get some improvement, without bringing in any new people. So just from that standpoint, I think we're going to be in better shape, and we're going to be able to get over that hump. We've got two freshman quarterbacks coming in. We've got 2 quarterbacks on the roster right now returning from last year, and one of those 4 is going to be the starter. I don't know who it's going to be. It all depends on who has the best camp. We might end up going into the season, working a couple of them. I don't know. It just all depends on how they are. We promoted Ron Rankin to the coordinator position. He's going to coach the inside linebackers. We moved Roland Whedon over to the defensive line, which is really his position. He worked with the running backs before, but he's really a D-line coach. And we actually have one more coach coaching on defense, so we did that to try to get a little bit better teaching done on the field in terms of focusing on individual kids, so we can get better quicker. And again, I was happy with the way it turned out in the springtime, and I know those guys are going to do a great job this fall. And even though we've got a few more spots to fill in on defense, again, I feel like we've got better depth than we've had, and we've got pretty good potential coming into this season. We got to play each game one at a time. We can't look ahead. Last year, I think we looked ahead a little bit, especially when we had a couple wins early and our guys are really riding high. They hadn't had that success, and now they're saying, maybe we can win the PSAC East. Well, that was a little bit too far ahead to be looking, and we overlooked the game that we should have been focusing on. And this year, we're going to really focus on playing that next game, playing that next play, and just focusing on that, doing the best job we can. And if you do that, you're going to get your success, and you're going to win what you should win. So that's our big push this year.
Obviously optimistic, Greg Colby is just about set for the 2011 season. Coach brought along 2 seniors, as I mentioned earlier. On the defensive side of the ball, it's strong safety, Gary Tillman, and he is also pretty pumped up. Inconsistency was sort of an issue last year. How do you look to change that?
Honestly, just by practicing harder, going way harder. Practice makes perfect, so change that. You've got to practice, and you've got to play like you want to win.
How has practice been so far for you in the summer?
Training's been difficult. The weather's been hard. Other than that, I'm focused and ready for the season.
With the heat, how have you been able to really avoid it at any cost? I know you were telling me earlier that you've been able to get out there late at night.
Yeah, you can't really avoid the heat. It hits you anywhere you try to go. But just try to work out at night, stay out of the sun, and get a good workout in.
You have a couple weeks till training camp, so what are your plans leading up to camp, and how excited are you to get back on campus and hitting some people?
Leading up to camp, just continuing to work out, staying focused. Honestly, just staying mentally focused. That's probably like the biggest part of the game.
When you finally do get to camp, what are your goals for those couple of weeks?
Get these incoming freshmen where they need to be, caught up to speed, and get the starting 11 on both sides of the ball, just up to par and ready to go.
Thanks a lot. One of the constant, consistent players in the Millersville offensive side of the ball has been Matt Egenrieder. The senior wide receiver had some interesting goals coming into this year. as he looks to go out with a bang. And Matt, you're headed into your senior season. I'm sure you have a lot of mixed emotions. Could you tell us about what your feelings have been leading into this last year?
Well, with every year, I'm always excited to get into the football season, but it just working hard, having that mindset to change things around, get some wins, and getting excited for the season.
You've been one of the most consistent offensive players for this Millersville team. What can you attribute that to?
Well, with everything, I believe is you work hard, and hard work pays off, and just having the belief in the system and everything, and the guys around you, and just having camaraderie with everyone, and you get a bunch of guys believing in one thing, and you go out and do what you got to do to win a ball game and perform on the field.
You lose a couple of key seniors, Bill Shirk, the starting quarterback, Jamal Smith, starting wide receiver. How do you fill in?
Well, those are two big shoes to fill, but other than that, we got 9 guys returning, all guys that have had experience. We were real dependent on those two, but we got running back Mike Jones coming back, a whole offensive line, 2 freshmen coming in at quarterback. We'll be battling wide receiver position, me and Domenic, and a new guy transfer from Kutztown, Will Brown. I think we'll be able to fare out well.
You exploded for quite a few highlight offensive plays last year. Can we expect to see some more this year?
Well, I hope so. I just go out and give it all and do my best every play, and hopefully the good things will happen.
The Marauders looking for improvement on both sides of the ball, which would ultimately help out their record. They start this season on the road for the first month and a half, but then return home, and Millersville is looking for an outstanding 2011. Be sure to tune in to MillersvilleAthletics.com for continual coverage. For MSBN, I'm Domenic Panza.